My fellow students, together we've accomplished a lot in this first couple months of my presidency here at Behringer.
The president will be available for questioning until second bell.
How you doing, guys?
Good. How are you?
It's great to have you.
How are you
here.
guys? Good?
Hello. More importantly, how are the audience? So we just saw the teaser for the brilliant Mr. Student Body President. It's on Go90 right now. The first 5 episodes are out, right?
Yes.
And it drops September 22nd, so you can watch it on your phone or on desktop, which I realized yesterday. Very convenient.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In a nutshell, guys, how would you describe the show? Sum it up.
Student body president, want to hit it up?
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
You
great.
take it
Yeah,
away.
put the pressure on me. I am the leader.
You are the president.
Pure chaos. I mean, ultimately, it's so hectic the whole way. It's hilarious. It's fun. It also pokes a lot of humor at current events with like social media and obviously the political race and stuff. So it's just pure chaos and it's awesome.
Yeah, agreed. That's what I really like about it. It's kind of like a combination between high school politics and then people who take them way too seriously to the point where it becomes almost like real politics because we deal with some like pretty sensitive issues, but we just make fun of all of them.
Yeah, and it really takes like stuff that actually happens in real life in real school and just sucks the drama out of it and like takes it to the nth degree.
I
is
saw
really
that you
cool.
called it a dramedy, right? A dramatic comedy.
Yeah, a dramedy. Yeah,
It is.
It's
very
pretty dramatic.
It's like it's like fake dramatic or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like drama, but you kind of lull.
It's like the characters all take what's happening very seriously, but generally what's happening is very stupid. So.
Well,
You're kinda rolling
everyone
eyes.
everyone except for my character.
Except for your
Oh,
To be
you're
real,
asleep half the time.
Yeah, there's like scenes where my character was Matt Johnsmeyer was like written in to take naps in the background.
And were you actually taking real?
I
naps?
legit, there was one time where I woke up from like a 30-minute nap because I was just sleeping while they were shooting.
I think I
was
still have it on
supposed
my
to
phone.
be.
We took selfies like with you while you were sleeping, just like
No way.
Yeah,
did
that
you,
did
This
happen.
is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Where are they? You've got to post them, Jeremy.
We gotta
I have my
find
phone
them.
somewhere. I gotta find
I
it.
feel
Extreme
like Gabriel,
blackmail.
You definitely won the lottery then with that job. I don't know any other job that you're actually getting paid to take naps. I mean, you can, there's certain things that are easy, but sleeping is probably one of the easiest things.
Yeah, well, no, I think
do.
that the one thing that was easier than sleeping was the scene where I was laying on the couch with a full cake on my stomach, where I was just, during that scene, I was just eating a chocolate cake off my belly. Yeah, and that
I think I
was...
saw that scene. That was
Yeah.
me, maybe. I think everybody was eating cake for that whole entire episode.
I think
Yeah.
he's just like a really intensive method actor. He just takes his craft very seriously.
That whole month of shooting, there
100%.
was a lot of cake eating.
And a lot of
Get in the
sleeping.
zone.
A
You
lot
went
of
to practice
sleeping.
sleeping.
He did. He got tons of sleep in. I think he was the only one that actually got sleep that entire time.
I definitely didn't. So
You definitely
slept for both of us.
Yeah.
Arden and Jeremy are vouching for you. So
Like,
you,
yeah.
Thank you, guys.
they're a bit jealous, I think,
Same.
though, as well. So you said it's based on sort of semi-real life experiences. So can you talk to me a bit about some of the scenes and scenarios that happen in the show that would be relevant and could happen in high school right now?
One of my favorites is from an episode that hasn't aired yet. I want to say it's episode 8. And basically all the kids get like their phones taken away for the whole episode. And so it's like them having to learn to adjust to being in a world where there's like no cell phones and stuff. And it's like
How
a
did
very...
they do?
They do.
They do pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
surprisingly.
They have like a rebel force that comes together to make like social media in real life. And we've talked about this a little bit before, but there's a scene where the lead like Instagram queen of the school, who's played by Megan Ranks on YouTube, she writes on a note in class and passes it to Tyler, and he goes, "Why are you giving me your garbage?" And she's like, "No, like read it." And he's like, "This is a text message. Pass it on." Passes on.
Like
to the
little
next
written
person.
emojis and stuff. in
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
so-
yeah. Next person passes on. Why are you giving me your trash? I'm not gonna throw away your trash for you. And she's like, no, it's a text message. Like, because you don't pass notes in class
Yeah.
anymore. Everyone texts each other. So it's like stuff like that that's funny.
And they basically just turn social media into real life things. One of my favorites is the Instagram one,
Oh yeah.
where she like takes a picture of herself like on a Polaroid camera and then like prints out a bunch of them, like puts it on people's lockers and like, this is my Instagram. She puts like a caption below it. And there's like a Snap story in the girls' bathroom. They have like
They have like the dog filter, you know, on
Yeah.
the
They
mirror.
paint it like on the mirror and the
Saw it on-
lipstick.
I think I
And then
saw
they
it
and
on
then they
Instagram.
delete it,
Yeah,
so
they
it's
delete
like
it, yeah.
it disappeared. And then there's one where they have like a Facebook wall in
my
the
gosh, that
it's in the
was so
men's
funny.
restroom.
Men's restroom, yeah.
And it starts out as just like one post, and then it just keeps going, and people commenting and like.
Why?
liking
It's a
it.
time lapse and like
Yeah.
marker and pen all over the boys'
It
bathroom.
sounds like it's really creative and almost like meta because it's like
Yeah.
how would you bring social media into real life? Because like we're completely missing out on real life in so many ways.
Yeah, so if you want to find out, go watch Mr. Student Body President.
That's
on
right.
90.
All
Gabe.
your answers will
Look
be
at you
right
shamelessly
there.
plugging like a
Oh,
champ.
you know.
So Jeremy, you play the president, the
Yes.
student body president. So Ryan Hunter, one of the writers, right? Is it true that he was the student body president in his school growing up? And what did he teach you then? Because I know you were homeschooled. So
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah. Actually, me and
that
Gabe are
knowledge,
both.
right?
We were both
all written on my
homeschooled.
hand.
We're both
both
homeschooled, actually.
homeschooled,
Yeah.
okay.
And yeah, Ryan was the student body president of his high school in real life. And so I think a lot of these are obviously very played up versions of things that he experienced. But a lot of it is taken from personal experiences for him. And when we were creating the character, it's definitely not like Ryan, you know, because Ryan's a very nice guy and is actually a genuinely good person.
But your character is kind of nice, Jeremy.
He
Like,
can
he's
be
not
nice.
hateable at all.
Very
You want him to
dramatic.
He's just
win.
very dramatic.
Yeah.
And he can be very manipulative when he wants, you know, to get what he
But
wants.
that's what Arden's character
That's what my
is
job
really
is.
for.
That's
True.
Yeah, I do all the dirty work.
You get all the blackmail on people.
I do.
And my job is sleeping in the background.
Lots of sleeping.
Gabriel, we've already established that.
Yeah.
Arden, tell me a bit about Hadley then. So she's sort of a little bit malicious, vindictive in some ways, does all your dirty work for you. Yeah. Tell me about her character and what was that for you then, like playing, I guess, kind of an evil in some ways girl.
She
But
kind of goes
really,
above and beyond the call for doing my dirty work
do.
in
I
some
think
instances.
I like it a little bit. I think my
You like it
character
too much.
likes making people do terrible things.
Okay.
Like I think the episode's already out where I make someone eat a tampon. That happened. That happened.
She's not even lying.
I'm not even kidding. I
Episode
actually
3.
did that. Yeah, episode 3. Go watch it.
Go watch it on Go 90.
Nailed it. Yeah, no, it was definitely different because she is a bit of a sociopath and really enjoys like playing around and manipulating with people, and that's not my personality at all. Or is it?
Or is it?
Dun,
But
dun.
no, she tends to be kind of a little bit of a scary character in a lot of ways, but it doesn't really come across in the show until you see her do terrible things. Then you're like, oh, I would not mess with her.
She's
if-
kind of like Doug Stamper from House of Cards.
Yeah,
You know,
very
she's-
similar.
She's our version of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm the chief of staff, so anything that if he's the crystal, like beautiful, like pure thing. That,
Why, thank you.
well,
So flattering.
okay, on the
Everybody loves you,
outside. All right, on the outside, for everyone to see, I'm the evil thing in the background that's doing all the stuff that makes him can maintain his image, if
Okay.
that makes sense. And it was kind of different for me because, like I said, I'm not a sociopath, but it was really
so
fun.
all sociopaths.
Hey,
Hey.
little did you know. But it was really fun being evil. I think that
I
a
would
lot
say
of
so.
yeah, I think a lot of actors like want to play evil, and once you get a little taste of it, it is kind of addicting.
Yeah,
No,
it's because it's a change up because it's not what you are in real life. That's
No.
what's
Yeah.
fun about acting is playing something that you're not in real life generally.
President in your case.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, wow, look
And
at you.
yeah, I'm
Actually
definitely
going to
not
school.
the president, or actually going to school. Exactly. I got my high school experience through shooting on this show. Literally, I mean, like
You're in a high school.
we were in a high school, and most of the cast is all around our age and stuff. And there was probably, I mean, there's probably at least 15 or 16 people who are there almost every day or every other day that you see on average, and you start to get to know and stuff. And so yeah, that was kind of a cool experience. I think I had one of the best high school experiences.
Probably.
One of the most fun, I would say, because there wasn't a whole lot of actual doing like work, you know.
But what
except
was
for-
great about it is that we were actually shooting at Santa Monica High. So while we were shooting, you know, this fake school, there was real school going on. So we would take lunch, and then there's like the real students having lunch with us. Not
We're
too
just like
far away.
watching,
Yeah,
almost
we were
like it's
just
like a petting zoo. They're just like we're looking at them, and they're all doing their thing, and there's like their little cliques. You can see
Yeah.
like, oh, there's the skaters over here. There's like the cool kids
really
over here. You
odd,
got the nerds over here. It was really funny. You'd think like that's like a stereotypical cliche thing, but it was exactly that.
Yeah. It's great research in
Yeah.
real life, in the moment, as you're acting, you're researching it there in real time.
method acting. You know?
Exactly.
exactly.
Full
Really taking it to
circle,
heart.
being
If we keep
real
telling
like
them that, they'll think we're actual method
Yes,
actors.
exactly.
Oh god.
So guys, both of you guys, like we said, were homeschooled, and then you got your high school experience through this show. Is there any part where you were reading the script and you were like, no way, does this actually happen in high school?
Yeah. The
Apart from eating tampons. We've already
forget-
discussed that.
Okay, you
that.
didn't
I
go to my
forget
high
what
school.
episode. I forget what episode it was, but Tyler Prendergast decides to put pills. Like,
He puts, well,
can we say it?
Yeah, you can say whatever you
Say it,
want.
say
it.
Say
Yeah.
well, Bill.
We're fine.
It's fine.
He puts old people boner pills into the taco meat for Taco Tuesday.
Into what?
Into the taco meat for Taco
Oh,
Tuesday.
perfect.
As like
It's a long story.
a cover up for a prank that
right.
it was.
You'll see it on the later episode.
Go
But
watch it on Go 90.
there you go. But he technically, well, the phrase is he bonered the entire school.
Yeah, so that was one thing when I read, I was like, okay, that probably doesn't actually happen in school. So
Depending on the school.
Depending on the
And
school.
now they're going to see it on Go 90 and maybe get some ideas. So who knows?
Oh,
what's gonna happen
yeah.
in the
Oh, my
future.
gosh. That'll be interesting.
I'm
Such a good
sorry.
influence.
we get any
Sorry for what
copycat?
we've done.
So Arden, this was maybe, and Gabriel as well, correct me if I'm wrong, is this one in both your first acting experiences? We know you've been in it for a while, Jeremy, correct?
Yeah.
So
I've been acting since I was like 5 or 6 years
you're
old.
the voice of Finn
Yes,
in Adventure
kid.
Time.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
Here
you.
for
Dog.
Finn.
Amazing. But
Yeah.
also, recently I just realized that he's young Charlie from Lost. If you
I
like,
read
if
that
you like
too.
Lost,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I had blonde hair and a British accent when I did. I was yay high.
Oh, it's so cute.
why didn't I know this? I had no idea.
You watch
Real?
Lost?
I didn't watch Lost, but like I didn't know you were in Lost.
Yeah,
It's a good
I
sign.
like
It
two
means you
episodes.
didn't IMDb your friend.
Yeah,
It's
great.
all up there.
That's
You're
true.
not stalking him too hard. So
My
that's
bad.
a good sign. So Gabriel, have you done much acting before this show?
I actually started acting in middle school, just doing theater and stuff like that. Professionally, I didn't start until I moved out to LA last year. But yeah, I mean, I've been doing acting, just not professionally, like this
Like
this
Jeremy.
guy over here, you know.
You're not the voice of Finn in Adventure Time,
Oh,
are you?
man, well,
He is for a couple episodes. You just have
Swap them out. It's interchangeable.
he got a little tired one day. And
yeah.
Gabe, come in here. Do my job for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Arden yourself as well. So this was one of your first experiences. I know you've been in. There was another show you're in before as well. Alice, Occupy Alice, or something?
Yeah. So I've worked with Newform quite a bit. I grew up in Arkansas, so there's not much of an acting industry out there. Little did you know. And so my entire goal of being on YouTube was to be an actor. But,
Okay.
But I just didn't really have the opportunities that a lot of people did, out in either New York or even like in Texas. They have a decent acting industry. But
A lot of actors from Texas. Yeah.
yeah, there's some good stuff.
They all fly from Texas to LA.
Yeah. Got the accents, southern
Commute.
drawl. But I started doing like some sketch comedy stuff. I worked with Awesomeness TV quite a bit when I was 18 and 19, and then I did Occupy Alice when I was 19.
Okay.
With Newform, and then
Also played a bit of a mean character.
yeah. Well, I was like a tough sister. That was my thing. I was like a punk rock sister that just wanted to take care of her little child baby sister, but just was kind of not prepared for it. But it was really fun role to play. But that was a short, so that was like a 3-day shoot. So no, I hadn't been on any kind of like being a second lead. You would get there at 4 a.m. and I would be right next to you in the makeup chair.
Yeah.
Because
We had some
girls
nice
have fun.
early mornings together.
Yeah, we had a lot of bonding sessions.
So we know what Gabriel was doing.
I was
He was sleeping. Yeah.
So on that
Yeah.
note, I know Gabriel and yourself, you both come from a YouTube background. So even with the likes of Go 90 and Newform Digital, they're opening so many horizons for like people from the internet, Viners, Snapchatters, YouTubers to get like loads of acting experience and really be out there in the forefront. So do you feel that you almost have to like work harder to prove yourself as an actor if you come from a YouTube background because people already see you as that thing?
I think it's more like you are used to being able to do your job without pants on. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
make a YouTube video from the chest up and never like leave your house and eat macaroni and cheese for like a week straight and no one will say anything. And when you're on a set and you have to learn lines and you're not your own boss, you aren't used to that because you're used to being in front of a camera, sure, but you're not used to dealing with ADs that are like yelling to get stuff on time. You know, you're not used to getting directors like, no, that's not right. We need something different. You know, you're used to pleasing yourself but not pleasing everyone else. I personally love that, but I think it can be hard for a lot of YouTubers to transition into doing a job that's not all about you.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
think that's the
I
problem.
think
Yeah,
there's also a stigma because I mean a lot of people think,
Yeah.
oh, they're just a YouTuber, and
Yeah.
so they're trying to do acting now.
Well,
and there is
yeah.
those people that like they'll put in stuff that aren't actually great actors, but they'll put them just because.
They
But
have
the problem,
social
but the problem
following.
is that's not everyone. There are some people who do that as a start, and they actually are great actors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dude,
I mean, he's
thank-
talking about me.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'll just go take a nap now.
No, and they wouldn't on this show especially. The casting is great, and they would not have hired anybody if they weren't just actually a solid,
Yeah.
good actor. And everybody fits their roles, and so it's not
Thanks,
like
dude.
being on a set with like, oh, you're on a set with all these social media people. It's just like, no, these are the other actors and actresses on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say as like being a social media person or YouTuber or whatever you want to call it, it's I mean the hard thing I would say from my eyes is having the audience who's been watching me online as like myself and knowing how I act like in my videos and knowing how like my personality and stuff like that, then having them watch a show and me having to convince them that it's not Gabriel Conti acting, it is Matt Johnsmeyer or whatever it is that I'm playing, like having to convince them that I'm another character, another person is like
But then
What's up with Gabriel today?
yeah, because
like
like
so sleepy all
yeah,
the time.
if you're you know like the first time seeing like an actor who hasn't put themselves on YouTube or anything like that, the first time you're seeing them is in a character, so it's not like you have a preconceived notion of the way they act, the way they make jokes, the way they just portray themselves.
Yeah.
So it's that's for me was like the challenge.
Yeah, because your audience is
My
almost
eyes.
more open then to your character if they don't know you from any other way.
Yeah, exactly.
And
yeah.
then, so the three of you obviously have an incredibly great dynamic. Did you know each other before the filming of this or before the auditions? Was there
No.
chemistry tests then? What was it like at the
We
start?
did, yeah. There was chemistry tests. I chemistry with both of you guys actually.
Yeah.
You were the only person I chemistry up for that role. I think you'd obviously already gone through your thing, and then
You're
I
just
chemistry
an
with
instant
you.
success game.
Yeah, no, our read was awesome. It was just like we hit it off well there, and then also the same with Arden. I read with like two other people for her role. I think you were the last person that I read with for the role though, and that was like definitely just you could feel you're like this one just works, and the other people are always great actresses, but there's just something that works well, and so but prior to that, I didn't know them at all. I also had no clue even of their social media background until we were basically on set. And
remember
I
that,
like,
'cause we all
followed
followed
someone
each
on
other.
Instagram and
Yeah.
Twitter, and I was like, "What the frick?" Like, I was like, so why do you have this many followers?
Tag me?
Yeah, but it was I mean the chemistry test was super. It was a lot of fun. I remember
It was super fun. Yeah.
it was we were in there for like an hour or something like
What
that,
scene
just going
did you
back
guys
and
do?
forth.
We did the interrogation
the
scene.
toilet.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah.
That one's so good.
Which is like a funny way to first meet someone, like interrogating them and yelling at them. Yeah.
Yeah, that scene, Tyler decides to interrogate Matt by having the football players come and kidnap him, take him into the boys' restroom,
Yep.
lock him up in a stall, and
And
get information out of him.
by like waterboarding his cell phone.
There we go.
I've seen it in the
Yeah.
trailer, yeah.
It's
So
a nasty scene.
dramatic.
So dramatic, yeah. We had that scene, then we had another scene that like one of the I think from the athlete episode. That was it was a shorter one, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had 3 or 4 scenes or something.
Did we? Oh, I had to get all up in your face.
Yeah, you did.
I
yeah, you had to
monologued
calm me.
at
You had to
Uh-oh.
calm me down.
I monologued at
Yeah.
you. I was talking about people being like subjugating people and putting them in zoos. So that was good.
You had to be the boss, though. You had to be the mean one in charge. And look, you're sitting here right now. It means it worked, Arden. You guys have a very tight schedule, so we have time for one question from the audience.
Oh, snap.
Ooh,
Hey, guys.
lucky you.
He gets it, man. He gets it.
Go.
Congrats on the show. It looks awesome.
Thank you. Thank
you.
You were talking a little bit before about social media and its role on the show. What kind of impact, I mean, social media is obviously a huge part of the world that we live in.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think that social media has on this younger generation, middle school, high school age, that is literally growing up with social media as like a forefront sort of major thing? What kind of impact do you think that's having?
I think that
You could speak
it
better than that than I could, probably.
no, I have like a very hopeful outlook on it. So I feel like for the most part, it makes people very accountable because most of what teenagers do on the internet is post about themselves constantly. So everything they do is online. And I've seen so many people concerned with social issues, issues of the world that are so much more passionate than I was growing up. Like I was such a lazy teenager. Now that I look at how active teenagers are online. And I think it's a really good thing. The other thing, though, is that you can't hide then. Like, everyone lives out their awkward stage online. But I think it helps you stay educated as well. Like, I grew up right on the cusp of the internet being a thing where I could kind of educate myself. And I feel like a large portion of what I learned with real world knowledge is stuff that I just explored by being on YouTube and Googling things and going on Wikipedia, like holes of the internet, you know? And I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, definitely. I would attest to that as far as even like with the election and stuff, like kids are more educated on just news and political stuff going on in the world, more so than for me growing up. Much more now, kids are in tune with what's going on than generations before, I feel. Yeah, I would definitely say that. But then there is that part of, I don't know, as like an older brother of
stay safe.
siblings,
Flip side,
I'm
do you
like,
think?
yeah, like my little brother and little sister, I'm like, ugh, like you don't need a Snapchat, you don't need, you know? Yeah, so that's a part of me that's like,
Like pros and cons.
yeah,
Pros and cons.
there's a lot of pros, there's a lot of cons, but yeah, just being hopeful about it.
Nice. Well, guys, I think that's all we have time for. We could talk all day.
Oh, dang it.
But clearly, you guys all have to watch this show. Mr. Student Body President, it's on Go 90 right now.
Thank
5
you.
episodes, you can binge watch it today. And then there's 5 more to come, correct?
Yeah, so the first 5 are all on there. There's 10 in all. The next 5 will air one every Thursday for the next, I think, 5 weeks. So,
Right.
yeah.
So they set you up nicely. It was released on the 22nd of September, right?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
They
Yeah.
sort
First
of, like,
3.
released a few. Okay.
Yeah, the first 3 were released, then 1 last
4,
week, 1 yesterday,
5.
Yeah.
5 more for
And
5
it's
Now
weeks.
you gotta wait.
Yeah, it kind of comes along with like the political stuff going on, so that's kind of fun because you're watching like a lighthearted political show, and then you get to go watch like the crap.
This
that's
all
on
sucks, but
TV.
this show's really funny. So
Show's
that's
great.
cool.
Let's watch that. Also, you guys should go comment on the show too. I love seeing comments on there, and like that's maybe my favorite thing. It's a lot of like, "Gabe's so hot." But
And do you write back? Are you trolling?
I'm like,
oh, whatever.
I
You
haven't read
haven't
any of
seen it,
those,
no,
but-
mate.
yeah, I'm like, but that Arden Rose girl, look how cool Hadley
Right?
is.
All right, guys. Well, you have to literally leave right now, I think. You're in a hurry. Hate to push you off
Bye.
stage, but you're in demand. So thank you so much again.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.